Hi, I'm Jack Austin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. 21 people joined my first ever LinkedIn bootcamp after I stopped doing what everyone tells you to do. I stopped waiting to be ready. For 5 years, I was that person consuming content, taking courses, perfecting my system while making zero money. Then I did something that felt insane. I launched Messy. Materials half done, updating lessons between calls, and guess what? It worked better than anything I'd ever done. And here's why. The universe doesn't reward perfection. It rewards execution. Now, whether you're spiritual or not, look around. Everything in nature creates, imperfectly but constantly. Stars explode, trees grow crooked, but humans, we're the only species consuming more than we create, and it's killing our dreams. Here's what nobody tells you about overconsumption. It's not your fault. The entire digital economy is built on your attention, not your action. Think about it. YouTube makes money when you watch another video. Instagram profits when you scroll for hours and hours on end. When you're creating, you're not consuming. When you're building, you're not buying. I've managed teams of 200 content writers and helped people close £6,000 deals on LinkedIn. And you know what separated the successful ones from the stuck ones? The successful ones spent 80% of their time actually doing things and 20% learning, whereas the stuck ones were the total reverse and opposite, full of excuses. There's actual neuroscience behind this. Every time you consume content, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. It's not enough to satisfy you, but it's just enough to keep you hooked. It's basically the slot machine principle. Meanwhile, creation activates completely different neural pathways. These are the ones linked to fulfillment, purpose, and actual growth. But here's why it's so tricky. Consumption feels productive. Of course, you're learning, researching, preparing. But I call this productivity theatre. You're performing the role of someone getting ready to succeed without actually doing the work that creates success. This is where it gets a little philosophical, but stay with me because this changed everything for me in my life. Look at the fundamental nature of reality. Everything creates. The Big Bang created matter. Stars create elements. DNA creates life. Creation is literally the operating system of the universe. So why are we the only species consuming more than we create? A bee doesn't watch YouTube videos about making honey, it makes honey. A tree doesn't take courses on photosynthesis. It converts sunlight into energy without consuming a single YouTube video. But humans, we've inverted our very purpose. I realized this while launching my LinkedIn bootcamp. For months, I kept perfecting it, consuming more information, listening to gurus, and then it hit me. I was violating the fundamental law of existence. So I launched it, incomplete, messy, and imperfect. And you know what happened? It worked. Not because it was perfect, but because it actually existed. Within the first 7 days, 21 people joined. Why? Well, because even an imperfect creation serves more people than a perfect idea in your head. You can't steer a stationary car. You need momentum first, and then you can adjust your direction. Other people's videos talk about fear and procrastination, but it's deeper than that. When you don't create, you're literally going against your cosmic purpose. That discomfort you feel in your chest is not anxiety. That's your soul telling you you're living backwards. I've boiled it down to 3 non-negotiable steps, and this is exactly what I use to go from overthinking to 21 clients in my first LinkedIn bootcamp. Whatever idea you have 72 hours to make it real. I'm not saying it needs to be perfect, but real. It could be a landing page, a first post about the project, a rough draft, but it's something that exists outside of your head. After 72 hours, your brain shifts from creation mode to perfection mode, and perfection mode is where dreams go to die. Step 2 is all about public accountability. Tell someone what you're creating, when they're going to see it, and don't say someday. Be specific. Tuesday next week at 5 p.m. I'm launching it. When I announced my LinkedIn bootcamp, I said it's starting next Monday at 8 p.m. and I couldn't back out of it anymore. That was my deadline. Those 21 people were waiting for me to start. And it isn't about adding extra pressure to yourself. It's about integrity. When you make that creation public, you make it real. Step 3 is daily proof. And what that means is every single day, you need to create proof that you're a creator, not a consumer. Post that one LinkedIn post. Write one paragraph of your book. Send out one cold email. Do one sketch. It doesn't matter what. It matters that you did it. And then track this in a simple spreadsheet. If you create something, it's a 1. If you consume something, you get nothing. If you don't have at least 5 points, then block yourself out of entertainment apps for the following week. And that includes books. Don't read books unless you're putting things into action. There's no point. Here's what most people get wrong. They think creation needs to be big. It doesn't. My entire LinkedIn system that helps people close £6,000 clients started with one message to one person. And that's it. The next bit is a part nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to. Your first creation is going to be terrible. And that's exactly why you need to make it now. See, perfection is procrastination in a tuxedo. While you're waiting to be good enough, somebody worse than you is building an audience because they started. I've seen brilliant strategists with 0 clients and average people making 6 figures. And the difference is that the average people created something and put it out there. When I launched my LinkedIn system, it was honestly embarrassing. No fancy funnel, basic Google Docs for materials, and Zoom calls, because that's what I had time to do. But those 21 people didn't care about polish. They cared about transformation. And transformation happens through action, not aesthetics. Here's the brain science behind that. Creation builds what psychologists call completion momentum. Every time you finish something, even something small, your brain rewards you with satisfaction chemicals that consumption can never provide. This is why creators seem happier than consumers. They're literally drugging themselves with accomplishment. The universe rewards speed and not perfection. Markets reward existence, not excellence, at least not at first. Excellence comes from iteration, and you can't iterate on something that doesn't exist. So listen, you have 2 choices right now. You can watch another video after this one, learn another framework, add another bookmark, or you can be one of the rare ones who actually does something. Here's what I want you to do. First, subscribe to my newsletter below, where I share my LinkedIn systems and the processes and the thinking that help me fill those LinkedIn boot camps. But more importantly, and I really mean this, before you do anything else, go and create something. Right now, today, no excuses. Write one LinkedIn post. Send one real conversation starter to a client. Build one page of your website. Just start your project. The universe is literally designed to support creators, but it can't support what doesn't exist. Remember, you can't steer a stationary car, but once you start moving, that's when everything changes. The question isn't whether you're ready or not. The question is whether you're willing to start anyway. Execute, execute, execute. Your move, creator.